Press my fingers against the cool ivory keys, begging the wooden soundboard for a gentle breeze. But the hammers refuse to strike the metallic wire, extinguishing the passionate musical raging fire. I stare blankly at the completely empty manuscript, wondering where the beautiful harmony suddenly slipped. The tuning fork hums but finds no matching pitch. We are stuck permanently in this unmusical ditch. I adjust the microphone, but there is no vocal to record, just the devastating absence of a single meaningful word. My vocal cords are paralyzed by the unspoken grief, praying for a sonic wave to bring a moment of relief. The frequency drops entirely off the audible chart, a deafening quietness tearing our rhythm apart. We lost the tempo, we forgot the fundamental beat, surrendering our masterpiece to an absolute defeat. Playing these silent chords into the vast unknown, standing on the concert stage, terribly and utterly alone. No melody can translate the magnitude of this despair, just a mute vibration hanging in the empty air. Silent chords, a symphony of unexpressed regret, the quietest tragedy that we will never forget. The orchestra packed up their instruments and walked away, knowing there was absolutely nothing left for us to play. The conductor dropped his baton onto the dusty floor, closing the heavy curtain, locking the auditorium door. I hum a phantom tune that nobody else can hear, a pathetic lullaby to conquer my overwhelming fear. The metronome ticks, but the time has ceased to exist, wandering aimlessly through a thick and musical mist. The frequency drops entirely off the audible chart, a deafening quietness tearing our rhythm apart. We lost the tempo, we forgot the fundamental beat, surrendering our masterpiece to an absolute defeat. Playing these silent chords into the vast unknown, standing on the concert stage, terribly and utterly alone. No melody can translate the magnitude of this despair, just a mute vibration hanging in the empty air. Silent chords, a symphony of unexpressed regret, the quietest tragedy that we will never forget. We tried to harmonize, but our voices constantly clashed, until the entire musical foundation forcefully crashed. Now we communicate through absolute terrifying mute, a ruined piano and a broken splintered wooden flute. Hush now, listen closely, hear nothing, total void. Playing these silent chords into the vast unknown, standing on the lives at stake, terribly and utterly alone. No melody can translate the magnitude of this despair. Just a mute vibration hanging in the empty air. Silent chords, a symphony of unexpressed regret. The quietest tragedy that we will never forget. Fade away, drop the mic, close the lid, end the song. Fade away. I look into the vanity mirror, but my reflection is torn. A distorted image of a woman completely forlorn. The spider web of cracks spreading across the silver pane, multiplying my sorrow, duplicating my profound pain. Every single angle shows a different fractured view of the terrible moment when I finally lost you. Walking barefoot across the dangerous kitchen tile, navigating the debris of our ruined, broken smile. The crystal vase you threw is scattered everywhere, gleaming maliciously under the hanging chandelier. I pick up a jagged piece, studying the pointed edge, standing precariously upon a dangerous rocky ledge. Fragility was a concept we carelessly chose to ignore, smashing our precious trust against the hardwood floor. You cannot glue a ruined mosaic back into its prime. The splinters will remain until the end of time. Cutting our tender feet, leaving a bloody trail down the miserable, lonely street. A million tiny fragments of a promise we broke, choking on the dangerous microscopic silica smoke. Shattered glass, reflecting our catastrophic mistake, realizing exactly how much a human soul can break. I bought a broom to sweep the terrible mess away, but the tiny sparkling diamond stubbornly decide to stay embedded deeply into the carpet, hidden from the eye, waiting to puncture our flesh whenever we walk by. The window pane was smashed by a thrown cobblestone. Now the freezing wind chills me straight to the bone. There is no protective barrier to keep the danger out, just an open wound filled with insecurity and doubt. Fragility was a concept we carelessly chose to ignore, smashing our precious trust against the hardwood floor. Oh, you cannot glue a ruined mosaic back into its prime. The splinters will remain until the end of time. Walking on shattered glass, cutting our tender feet, leaving a bloody trail down a miserable, lonely street. A million tiny fragments choking on the dangerous microscopic silica smoke. Shattered glass, reflecting our catastrophic mistake. Realizing exactly how much a human soul can break. Until the terrifying reality crashed through the roof. Now we reside inside a jagged, ruined, perilous dome, a terrifying hazard that we used to call our home. Step carefully, feel the sting, bleed a little, sweep the floor. Walking on shattered glass, cutting our tender feet, leaving a bloody trail down the miserable, lonely street. A million tiny fragments, choking on the dangerous microscopic silica smoke. Shattered glass, reflecting our catastrophic mistake. Realizing exactly how much a human soul can break. Watch your step, sharp edges, broken pains. Careful now. Tracing the jagged lines, mapping out my pale skin, a permanent reminder of the battles I could not win. Every blemish tells a story of a deeply vicious fight, carved by a ruthless needle under fluorescent light. The surgical thread pulled tight across my broken flesh, trying to weave the torn tissue into a brand new mesh. But the blade cut deeply through the muscle and the vein, leaving a textured roadmap of excruciating pain. Our wounds are overlapping in a chaotic, messy knot, healing terribly poorly in the sensitive, tender spot. The lacerations bind us in a horrifying, ugly way. A physical museum displaying our profound decay. We bear these tangled scars, intricate and profoundly deep, a gallery of nightmares, preventing us from going to sleep. In a locked trauma, it's forever like a grim tattoo. I cannot separate my blemishes from the marks on you. Tangled scars, an intertwined labyrinth of bold regret, a complicated woven tapestry we can never forget. I wear long sleeves in summer to conceal the wretched shame, bandages wrapping tightly around my fragile, battered frame. But the blood seeps through the cotton, staining it crimson red, exposing the brutal history I desperately want to shed. My fingertips run blindly over the bumpy, uneven terrain, reading the raised braille of your emotional hurricane. change, walking hand in hand. Our wounds are overlapping in a chaotic, messy knot, healing terribly poorly in the sensitive, tender spot. Oh, the lacerations bind us in a horrifying, ugly way. A physical museum displaying our profound decay. We bear these tangled scars, intricate and profoundly deep, a gallery of nightmares, preventing us from going to sleep in a lock trauma etched forever like a grim tattoo. I cannot separate my blemishes from the marks on you. Tangled scars, an intertwined labyrinth of old regret, a complicated woven tapestry we can never forget. Fused together completely at the cellular, fleshy base, inseparable damage that no doctor can ever erase. We are a monstrous creation of surgical mistake, waiting for the final fragile suture to forcefully break. Slice it, bleed out, form a scab, never heal, never heal. So how we bear these tangled scars, intricate and profoundly deep, a gallery of nightmares, preventing us from going to sleep in a like trauma etched forever like a grim tattoo. I cannot separate my blemishes from the marks on you. Tangled scars, an intertwined labyrinth of old regret, a complicated woven tapestry we can never forget. Stitches pulled, tissue tear, marked for life, permanent damage. Embrace the dark, no more dawn, shadows win. The solar eclipse cast a terrifying gloom overhead, painting the afternoon sky a terrifying bruised red. I watch your silhouette standing by the bedroom door, a dark apparition that I cannot recognize anymore. The luminance has vanished from your beautiful brown eyes, replaced by an abyss of complicated, twisted lies. I carry a brass lantern, but the kerosene has run dry, wandering blindly beneath this darkened twilight sky. My chest cavity feels like a damp subterranean cave, trapped inside this emotional, suffocating grave. The sun retreated behind a massive blocking moon, turning our joyful morning into a dreadful afternoon. The lack of illumination breeds terrible lurking ghosts. We are serving as unwilling, miserable, haunted hosts. The twilight creeps inward, consuming the vibrant day, chasing every single ounce of brilliant light away. Living with a shadowed heart, completely deprived of sun. A terrifying darkness that simply cannot be outrun. Oh, a total eclipse blocking out the affection we need, planting a nocturnal poisonous miserable seed. Shadowed heart beating slowly in the pitch black night, surrendering completely without putting up a fight. The umber spreads quickly across the living room wall, waiting for the inevitable, terrifying curtain to fall. I reach out to grab your hand, but grasp only the air, stumbling around in this pitch black atmosphere. I try to strike a flint, but the sparks refuse to catch. We are completely incompatible, a terrible mismatch. The shadows grow taller, morphing into terrifying shapes, blocking out all the viable, accessible escape. The lack of illumination breeds terrible lurking ghosts. We are serving as unwilling, miserable, haunted hosts. The twilight creeps inward, consuming the vibrant day, chasing every single ounce of brilliant light away. Living with a shadowed heart, completely deprived of sun. A terrifying darkness that simply cannot be outrun. Oh, a total eclipse blocking out the affection we need, planting a nocturnal poisonous miserable seed. Shadowed heart beating slowly in the pitch black night, surrendering completely without putting up a fight. Photosynthesis requires a genuine radiant beam, but we are living entirely inside a nocturnal dream. The darkness is absolute, a thick impenetrable cloak, choking out the fire until there is only smoke. Lights out, total dark, and I cannot see. Blind love, living with a shadowed heart, completely deprived of sun. A terrifying darkness that simply cannot be outrun. Oh, a total eclipse blocking out the affection we need, planting a nocturnal poisonous miserable seed. Shadowed heart beating slowly in the pitch black night, surrendering completely without putting up a fight. Welcome night, embrace the dark, no more dawn, shadows win. Tracing the jagged lines, mapping out my pale skin, a permanent reminder of the battles I could not win. Every blemish tells a story of a deeply vicious fight, carved by a ruthless needle under fluorescent light. The surgical thread pulled tight across my broken flesh, trying to weave the torn tissue into a brand new mesh. But the blade cut deeply through the muscle and the vein, leaving a textured roadmap of excruciating pain. Our wounds are overlapping in a chaotic, messy knot, healing terribly poorly in the sensitive, tender spot. The lacerations bind us in a horrifying, ugly way, a physical museum display in our profound decay. We bear these tangled scars, intricate and profoundly deep, a gallery of nightmares, preventing us from going to sleep. Interlocked trauma etched forever, like a grim tattoo. I cannot separate my blemishes from the marks on you. Tangled scars, an intertwined labyrinth of old regret, a complicated woven tapestry we can never forget. I wear long sleeves in summer to conceal the wretched shame, bandages wrapping tightly around my fragile, battered frame. But the blood seeps through the cotton, staining it crimson red, exposing the brutal history I desperately want to shed. My fingertips run blindly over the bumpy, uneven terrain, reading the raised braille of your emotional hurricane. No ointment, no magical lotion can erase this brutal brand. We are permanently damaged, walking hand in hand. Our wounds are overlapping in a chaotic, messy knot, healing terribly poorly in the sensitive, tender spot. The lacerations bind us in a horrifying, ugly way, a physical museum display in our profound decay. We bear these tangled scars, intricate and profoundly deep, a gallery of nightmares, preventing us from going to sleep. Interlocked trauma etched forever, like a grim tattoo. I cannot separate my blemishes from the marks on you. Tangled scars, an intertwined labyrinth of old regret, a complicated woven tapestry we can never forget. Fused together completely at the cellular, fleshy base, inseparable damage that no doctor can ever erase. We are a monstrous creation of surgical mistake, waiting for the final fragile suture to forcefully break. Slice it, bleed out, form a scab, never heal. We bear these tangled scars, high, intricate and profoundly deep, a gallery of nightmares, preventing us from going to sleep. Interlocked trauma etched forever, like a grim tattoo. I cannot separate my blemishes from the marks on you. Tangled scars, an intertwined labyrinth of old regret, a complicated woven tapestry we can never forget. Stitches pulled, tissue tears, marked for life, permanent damage. crystal chandeliers casting prisms upon my designer gown. The wealthiest, most miserable woman in this opulent town. Mascara ruins the exquisite imported foreign silk, crying over spilled champagne instead of crying over milk. Straightening my custom tuxedo in the polished looking glass, pretending to belong entirely to the upper elite class. A silver limousine is waiting patiently in the driveway, ready to show for this pathetic hollow masquerade away. We possess an absolute fortune, swimming in pure gold, but emotionally speaking, we are terribly bankrupt and old. The paparazzi flash their lenses, capturing a fake smile, hiding the overwhelming tragedy behind an elegant profile. Weeping velvet tears, soft and incredibly plush, spilling onto pearls in the wealthy midnight hush. A luxurious depression that money simply cannot cure, suffering in high society, feeling terribly insecure. Velvet tears staining the extremely expensive rug, addicted to the glamorous life like a destructive drug. The penthouse suite offers an immaculate panoramic view, but the marble pillars feel like a prison built for two. Caviar tastes like ashes upon my aristocratic tongue, the saddest aristocratic melody that anyone has ever sung. Diamonds wrap around my neck, an incredibly heavy chain, a glittering brilliant collar, amplifying my internal pain. I wander through the sprawling estate, a captive in my home, a solitary empress reigning within a gigantic lonely dome. We possess an absolute fortune, swimming in pure gold, but emotionally speaking, we are terribly bankrupt and old. The paparazzi flash their lenses, capturing a fake smile, hiding the overwhelming tragedy behind an elegant profile. Weeping velvet tears, soft and incredibly plush, spilling onto pearls in the wealthy midnight hush. A luxurious depression that money simply cannot cure, suffering in high society, feeling terribly insecure. Velvet tears staining the extremely expensive rug, addicted to the glamorous life like a destructive drug. The bank account overflows, the vault is tightly secure, but this prestigious melancholy remains entirely uncured. You cannot purchase a genuine laugh with a platinum card. Playing this incredibly wealthy role is extraordinarily hard. Drip softly, shine bright, look rich, feel poor. Weeping velvet tears, soft and incredibly plush, spilling onto pearls in the wealthy midnight hush. A luxurious depression that money simply cannot cure, simply cannot cure. Suffering in high society, feeling terrible. staring at the digital map, glowing bright upon my screen, calculating the massive geography, sitting right between different time zones, making our communication completely out of sync, pushing my sanity rapidly toward the treacherous brink. Driving past the state line, reading the faded welcome board, living entirely out of a suitcase in an old beaten up Ford. The AM radio crackles with a terrible buzzing static hiss, trying to ignore the comfort in hometown that I intensely miss. The cell tower signal drops as I drive through the mountain pass, looking at the blurry horizon through a bug-splattered glass. Thousands of miles separating our weary traveling souls, taking unexplainable tolls on our ultimate romantic goals, singing the distant blues, separated by the interstate, wondering if this separation is an act of cruel fate, a geographic nightmare tearing us completely apart. Planes, riding on different airplanes, catching separate passing trains, eating greasy pancakes in a lonely roadside diner booth, pouring terrible black coffee while searching for the truth. The waitress calls me honey, but it does not sound the same. Nobody in this entire time zone even knows my middle name. Postage stamps and handwritten letters piled upon the desk, trying to keep our connection from turning grotesque. I trace your familiar handwriting with my index finger, allowing the romantic sentiment to temporarily linger. The cell tower signal drops as I drive through the mountain pass, looking at the blurry horizon through a bug-splattered glass. Thousands of miles separating our weary traveling souls, taking unexplainable tolls on our ultimate romantic goals, singing the distant blues, separated by the interstate, wondering if this separation is an act of cruel fate, a geographic nightmare tearing us completely apart, an agonizing marathon running directly through my heart. completely apart. An agonizing marathon, running directly through my heart. Distant blue spanning oceans, rivers and the endless plains, riding on different airplanes, catching separate passing trains. Engine stops, call connects, delay remains miles apart. The tuning pegs are slipping, the pitch is always flat. I strum the wooden body where the vibrant rhythm set, but the resonance has vanished. The sound box is deceased. The musical connection has permanently ceased. My calluses are peeling, my fingertips just bleed, planting barren melodies from a corrupted seed. The bridge is slowly cracking under immense tension, losing every single ounce of my creative comprehension. Plucking at the wires, but they yield no pleasant tone, just a dull vibration vibrating through the bone. The fretboard is deserted, the neck is warped and bent. Every single ounce of inspiration has been spent, playing on these hollow strings, echoing with dread, trying to revive a song that is already dead. No amplifier powerful enough to bring the magic back, riding off the rails upon a broken, rusted track. Hollow strings snapping tightly against the wood, failing to deliver what we always understood. The nylon fiber's frayed, the steel begins to rust, the instrument case gathers a century of dust. I sweep the plectrum downwards, hoping for a chord, but I only get the silence of a solitary ward. The capo clamps down forcefully, but changes no key, restricting the expression of the artist inside me. The harmonics are muted, deadened by the grief, searching through the songbook for a moment of relief. Plucking at the wires, but they yield no pleasant tone, just a dull vibration vibrating through the bone. The fretboard is deserted, the neck is warped and bent. Every single ounce of inspiration has been spent, playing on these hollow strings, echoing with dread, trying to revive a song that is already dead. No amplifier powerful enough to bring the magic back, riding off the rails upon a broken, rusted track. Hollow strings snapping tightly against the wood, digital map glowing bright upon my screen, calculating the mass of geography sitting right between different time zones, making our communication completely out of sync, pushing my sanity rapidly toward the treacherous brink. Driving past the state line, reading the faded welcome board, living entirely out of a suitcase in an old beaten up Ford. The AM radio crackles with a terrible buzzing static hiss, trying to ignore the comforting hometown that I intensely miss. The cell tower signal drops as I drive through the mountain pass, looking at the blurry horizon through a bug-splattered glass. Thousands of miles separated, now weary traveling souls taking unexplainable tolls on our ultimate romantic goals, singing the distant blues, separated by the interstate, wondering if the separation is an act of cruel fate, a geographic nightmare tearing us completely apart, an agonizing marathon running directly through my heart. Distant blues spanning oceans, rivers, and the endless plains, riding on different airplanes, catching separate passing trains, eating greasy pancakes in a lonely roadside diner booth, pouring terrible black coffee while searching for the truth. The waitress calls me honey, but it does not sound the same. Nobody in this entire time zone even knows my middle name. Postage stamps and handwritten letters piled upon the desk, trying to keep our connection from turning grotesque. I trace your familiar handwriting with my index finger, allowing the romantic sentiment to temporarily linger. The cell tower signal drops as I drive through the mountain pass, looking at the blurry horizon through a bug-splattered glass. Thousands of miles separated, now weary traveling souls taking unexplainable tolls on our ultimate romantic goals, singing the distant blues, separated by the interstate, wondering if this separation is an act of cruel fate, a geographic nightmare tearing us completely apart, an agonizing marathon running directly through my heart. Distant blues spanning oceans, rivers, and the endless plains, riding on different airplanes, catching separate passing trains. Satellites floating in orbit, beaming down a delayed text, constantly wondering exactly what is gonna happen next. We are just two tiny dots on a massive spinning globe, waiting patiently for a miracle, maintaining endless hope. Keep driving, keep flying, far away, never close. Oh, singing the distant blues, separated by the interstate, wondering if the separation is an act of cruel fate, a geographic nightmare tearing us completely apart, an agonizing different airplanes, catching separate passing trains. Engine stops, car connects, delay remains miles apart. I look into the vanity mirror, but my reflection is torn. A distorted image of a woman, completely forlorn. A spiderweb of cracks spreading across the silver pane, multiplying my sorrow, duplicating my profound pain. Every single angle shows a different fractured view of the terrible moment when I finally lost you. Walking barefoot across the dangerous kitchen tile, navigating the debris of our ruined, broken smile. The crystal vase you threw is scattered everywhere, gleaming maliciously under the hanging chandelier. I pick up a jagged piece, studying the pointed edge, standing precariously upon a dangerous, rocky ledge. Fragility was a concept we carelessly chose to ignore, smashing our precious trust against the hardwood floor. You cannot glue a ruined mosaic back into its prime. The splinters will remain until the end of time. Walking on shattered glass, cutting our tender feet, leaving a bloody trail down the miserable, lonely street. A million tiny fragments of a promise we broke, choking on the dangerous, microscopic silica smoke. Shattered glass, reflecting our catastrophic mistake, realizing exactly how much a human soul can break. I bought a broom to sweep the terrible mess away, but the tiny sparkling diamonds stubbornly decide to stay, embedded deeply into the carpet, hidden from the eye, waiting to puncture our flesh whenever we walk by. The window pane was smashed by a thrown cobblestone. Now the freezing wind chills me straight to the bone. There is no protective barrier to keep the danger out, just an open wound filled with insecurity and doubt. Fragility was a concept we carelessly chose to ignore, smashing our precious trust against the hardwood floor. You cannot glue a ruined mosaic back into its prime. The splinters will remain until the end of time. Walking on shattered glass, cutting our tender feet, leaving a bloody trail down the miserable, lonely street. A million tiny fragments of a promise we broke, choking on the dangerous, microscopic silica smoke. Shattered glass, reflecting our catastrophic mistake, realizing exactly how much a human soul can break. step carefully. Feel the sting, bleed a little. Sweep the floor, walking on shattered glass, cutting our tender feet, leaving a bloody trail down the miserable, lonely street. A million tiny fragments of a promise we broke, choking on the dangerous microscopic silica smoke. Shattered glass, reflecting our catastrophic mistake, realizing exactly how much a human soul can break. Watch your step, sharp edges, broken pains. Careful now, careful now. Sitting by the neon tavern sign, flickering outside, watching amber liquid pour as I swallow my pride. The bartender wipes the counter with a dirty rag, carrying this heavy sorrow in a leather bag. Ice cubes melting slowly in this cylindrical glass, watching blur strangers and midnight taxis pass. My tab is running high, but my spirit sinks so low. I drank the poison willingly, yet I cannot let you go. Intoxicated vision spinning wildly in my brain, drowning every single thought to tolerate the pain. The bartender yells that it is finally closing time, but I am busy punishing myself for this romantic crime. These are whiskey regrets burning down my throat, sinking like a stone inside a leaking boat. A massive morning headache that will never fade, paying the expensive price for choices that we made. Whiskey regrets stinging on my swollen tongue, a toxic melody that should have never been sung. Empty bottles lined up like soldiers on the shelf. I'm picking fights with the demons inside myself, stumbling through the alleyway, tripping on the curb, looking for a magic cure or some medicinal herb. The taxi driver asked me for an avenue or street, but I just stared blankly at the pedals on his feet. My destination vanished when you walked out the door. Now I am just a patron sleeping on the tavern floor. Intoxicated vision spinning wildly in my brain, drowning every single thought to tolerate the pain. The bartender yells that it is finally closing time, but I am busy punishing myself for this romantic crime. These are whiskey regrets burning down my throat, sinking like a stone inside a leaking boat. A massive morning headache that will never fade, paying the expensive price for choices that we made. Whiskey regrets stinging on my swollen tongue, a toxic melody that should have never been sung. is in the bottle. The evidence is clear. I am fermenting all my sadness into liquid fear. Pour it, swallow hard. Feel the burn, dizzy mind. Oh, these are whiskey regrets burning down my throat, sinking like a stone inside a leaking boat. A massive morning headache that will never fade, paying the expensive price for choices that we made. Whiskey regrets stinging on my swollen tongue, a toxic melody that should have never been sung. The glass is empty, the bill is paid. Staggering home, sober in a thermometer plunges far below the 0 degree. A sudden blizzard sweeps right across the raging sea. I wrap my shivering arms around your rigid, stiffened spine, hoping to find a flicker of the warmth that once was mine. My exhalation transforms instantly into a frosty fog, sitting upon this frozen, snow-covered falling log. Icicles begin to form upon my eyelashes and my beard. This absolute sub-zero temperature is exactly what I feared. Hypothermia is setting into our romantic core. The thermal energy is depleted, we cannot generate more. Every attempt at affection sends a shudder down my back, walking blindly across a glacier, waiting for it to crack. Trapped in this cold embrace, freezing me to the bone, holding on to a statue carved from a glacial stone. We are shivering violently, desperately seeking the heat, but this frigid altitude guarantees our absolute defeat. A cold embrace, a winter that refuses to ever thaw, surviving the harshest elements without a single flaw. The mattress feels identical to an Arctic expedition, and during this blizzard is my only remaining mission. I pull the thick duvet up tightly against my chilly chin, but the drafts are penetrating deeply into my very skin. The radiator is broken, the pipes have completely burst. This polar vortex is undeniably the absolute worst. I seek refuge beside the hearth, but there is no kindling left of every single thermal comfort I have been bereft. Hypothermia is setting into our romantic core. The thermal energy is depleted, we cannot generate more. Every attempt at affection sends a shudder down my back, walking blindly across a glacier, waiting for it to crack. Trapped in this cold guarantees our absolute defeat. A cold embrace, a winter that refuses to ever thaw. Survive in the harshest elements without a single flaw. We are two icebergs colliding in the darkest northern sea, shattering into pieces, floating aimlessly and free. No tropical summer sun could ever melt this massive chill. We are frozen completely solid on this desolate, snowy hill. Shiver now, frostbite stings, numbness spreads, turning blue. Trapped in this cold embrace, freezing me to the bone, holding on to a statue carved from a glacial stone. We are shivering violently, desperately seeking the heat, but this frigid altitude guarantees our absolute defeat. A cold embrace, a winter that refuses to ever thaw. Survive in the harshest elements without a single flaw. Snow falls, ice thickens, winter rains frozen still. The thermometer plunges far below the 0 degree. A sudden blizzard sweeps right across the raging sea. I wrap my shivering arms around your rigid, stiffened spine, hoping to find a flicker of the warmth that once was mine. My exhalation transforms instantly into a frosty fog, sitting upon this frozen, snow-covered falling log. Icicles begin to form upon my eyelashes and my beard. This absolute sub-zero temperature is exactly what I feared. Hypothermia is setting into our romantic core. The thermal energy is depleted, we cannot generate more. Every attempt at affection sends a shudder down my back, walking blindly across a glacier, waiting for it to crack. Trapped in this cold embrace, freezing me to the bone, holding on to a statue carved from a glacial stone. We are shivering violently, desperately seeking the heat, but this frigid altitude guarantees our absolute defeat. A cold embrace, a winter that refuses to ever thaw. Survive in the harshest elements without a single flaw. The mattress feels identical to an Arctic expedition. Enduring this blizzard is my only remaining mission. I pull the thick duvet up tightly against my chilly chin, but the drafts are penetrating deeply into my very skin. The radiator is broken, the pipes have completely burst. This polar vortex is undeniably the absolute worst. I seek refuge beside the hearth, but there is no kindling left of every single thermal comfort I have been bereft. Hypothermia is setting into our romantic core. The thermal energy is depleted, we cannot generate more. Every attempt at affection sends a shudder down my back. Walking blindly across a glacier, waiting for it to crack. Trapped in this cold embrace, freezing me to the bone, holding on to a statue carved from a glacial stone. We are shivering violently, desperately seeking the heat, but this frigid altitude guarantees our absolute defeat. A cold embrace, a winter that refuses to ever thaw, surviving the harshest elements without a single flaw. Colliding in the darkest northern sea, shattering into pieces, floating aimlessly and free. No tropical summer sun could ever melt this massive chill. We are frozen completely solid on this desolate snowy hill. Shiver now, frostbite stings, numbness spreads, turning blue. Trapped in this cold embrace, freezing me to the bone, holding on to a statue carved from a glacial stone. We are shivering violently, desperately seeking the heat, but this frigid altitude guarantees our absolute defeat. A cold embrace, a winter that refuses to ever thaw, surviving the harshest elements without a single flaw. Snow falls, ice thickens, winter rains, frozen still. Every step I take feels like walking through thick mud. A sudden pressure drops, freezing up my rushing blood. I reach for the sky, but my arms are leaden weights, trapped below the atmosphere, sealed behind iron gates. The planet pulls me downward toward the solid dirt, wearing my exhaustion like a torn and ragged shirt. I cannot lift my boots, the terrain is far too steep, falling into an ocean that is incredibly deep. We used to float upon a cloud of bliss, now we are plunging straight into the abyss. The invisible force is dragging us below, stopping the forward momentum, making us incredibly slow. Heavy gravity sinking us to the ground. We are anchored to the bottom, tightly bound, cannot escape this massive crushing weight. We realized our altitude was dropping too late. Heavy gravity pulling us from the stars, locking us forever behind invisible bars. Look up at the constellations, totally out of reach. We are stranded upon this desolate, ruined beach. My bones are aching from the atmospheric strain. Trying to stand upright feels completely in vain. The apples fall from the tree, hitting the roots. We are tangled in the vines, wearing heavy suits. No wings could ever lift this massive amount of stone. We are sinking into the crust, absolutely alone. We used to float upon a cloud of bliss. Now we are plunging straight into the abyss. The invisible force is dragging us below, stopping the forward momentum, making us incredibly slow. Heavy gravity sinking us to the ground. We are anchored to the bottom, tightly bound. Cannot escape this massive crushing weight. We realized our altitude was dropping too late. Heavy gravity pulling us from the stars, locking us forever behind invisible bars. Without a single regret, but the universe demands an equal reaction. Now we are suffering this fatal attraction, pulling down, crashing hard, no escape, hitting bottom. Heavy gravity sinking us to the ground. We are anchored to the bottom, tightly bound. Cannot escape this massive crushing weight. We realized our altitude was dropping too late. Heavy gravity pulling us from the stars, locking us forever behind invisible bars. Pinned down, rooted deep, no more flight, grounded forever. Sitting by the neon tavern sign, flickering outside, watching amber liquid pour as I swallow my pride. The bartender wipes the counter with a dirty rag, carrying this heavy sorrow in a leather bag. Ice cubes melting slowly in this cylindrical glass, watching blurry strangers and midnight taxis pass. My tab is running high, but my spirit sinks so low. I drank the poison willingly, yet I cannot let you go. Intoxicated vision spinning wildly in my brain, drowning every single thought to tolerate the pain. The bartender yells that it is finally closing time, but I am busy punishing myself for this romantic crime. These are whiskey regrets burning down my throat, sinking like a stone inside a leaking boat. A massive morning headache that will never fade, paying the expense that should have never been sung. Empty bottles lined up like soldiers on the shelf. I am picking fights with the demons inside myself. Stumbling through the alleyway, tripping on the curb, looking for a magic cure or some medicinal herb. The taxi driver asked me for an avenue or street, but I just stare blankly at the pedals on his feet. My destination vanished when you walked out the door. Now I am just a patron sleeping on the tavern floor. Intoxicated vision spinning wildly in my brain, drowning every single thought to tolerate the pain. The bartender yells that it is finally closing time, but I am busy punishing myself for this romantic crime. These are whiskey regrets burning down my throat, sinking like a stone inside a leaking boat. A massive morning headache that will never fade, paying the expensive price for choices that we made. Whiskey regrets stinging on my swollen tongue, a toxic melody that should have never been sung. They say the liquor helps to sterilize the wound, but it only guarantees my sanity is ruined. The proof is in the bottle, the evidence is clear. I am fermenting all my sadness into liquid fear. Pour it, swallow hard, feel the burn, dizzy mind. Oh, these are whiskey regrets burning down my throat, burning down my throat, sinking like a stone inside a leaking boat. A massive morning headache that will never fade, paying the expensive price for choices that we made. Whiskey regrets stinging on my swollen tongue, a toxic melody that should have never been sung.